So I'll call us to order. This is a meeting of the Franklin Ethics Commission, Wednesday, October the 23rd, 2024. We're meeting in the City of Franklin boardroom at 3 p.m. We don't have anyone. Is there anyone here that wants to address the commission? I don't see anyone. Okay, very good. We have old business for consideration of the minutes of September 1, 2023. Have each member of the commission had an opportunity to look at those?
I have. I move they be approved.
I'll second.
Very well. I have a motion and a second to approve the minutes. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Then the minutes are approved. Under new business, we have a discussion of the bylaws of the commission, and if amendments need to be made. I read them and went through them. I had some little stylistic changes to page 4 that I don't think are significant. We can look at them if you all want to. Ms. Patton, have you had a chance to look at them?
Yes, sir.
Do you have any changes or corrections that you would suggest?
No, sir, I haven't. I didn't see anything that popped out at me. I was trying to compare
Sharman,
with the
what
other.
about you?
Mr. Chairman, I went through them and I told our attorney back last year, I guess it was last year when we were going through this,
Yes.
I had a note, I made a note somewhere, I can't find my note and I do not recall what it was. So I'm fine with them. Obviously, it wasn't that significant.
Ms. Wilson, did you have any changes?
I just have a question, Mr. Chairman. On page 1, this
Okay.
is just an edit, I think. At the very last, in section B, the second sentence, it says, any commission member who personally has or has.
It should have the word had in there.
That's,
Or has,
I
yeah.
wondered.
Yeah, so it's missing a word. All right, so let's change that. So person has or has had. I think wouldn't that correct me? Wouldn't that adjust what you're talking about?
I think so. It makes sense. So it's current or in the past.
Yeah. And
Since that's not material and more of a, grammatical error, we can just fix that, since that's
Right.
not substantial.
So
Other
that should
than that-
say personally has or had. Is that what,
that would work as well, I
Yeah.
think.
is that what
Person
you're
has
saying?
or had.
Yeah.
It's intended to say currently or in the past.
That's right, exactly.
Other than that, Mr. Chairman, I did not have any changes, and it all looked great.
I had a few suggestions on page 4. Again, they're stylistic and minor and may not be critical. In paragraph 1, we use the word ethical claim. And that, to me, is not consistent with everything else we've been saying. So I'm suggesting that in paragraph 1, line 3, it read, constitute an ethical violation. And you may want to say, finally, make an initial determination whether the complaint alleges facts, comma, if proved. But without that, I think it's still fine.
And this is on page 4, paragraph 1 of
Yeah,
section
where we use the
6.
word ethical
Yes.
claim, I don't know that terminology appears anywhere else in our bylaws. And we do speak in terms of ethical violations. So it should read, should the commission determine that the complaint fails, the commission will meet, et cetera, and determine whether the complaint alleges facts sufficient to constitute an ethical violation. You may want to say if proved.
Instead of proven.
But it's clear these are allegations.
Yeah.
And then in the second paragraph where it says constitute an ethical complaint, I think again we're talking about an ethical violation. So should the commission determine that the complaint fails to allege any facts that, if proven, constitute an ethical violation, not an ethical complaint. And then paragraph 3 reads, should the commission determine that there are technical deficiencies, it says to the complaint, I would say in the complaint. And then in paragraph 4, it says if the commission holds, I would suggest determines, if the commission determines that the complaint states facts, which, comma, and this is, so Shauna, this is where I would suggest maybe a little more editing, states facts which, comma, if proven, comma, state a colorable claim of an ethical violation. Those are the words I think we were using, Mr. Sharper, before.
They were.
Ms. Wilson, basically, we were thinking in terms of a colorable claim, okay?
That is true.
Yeah. Which, if proven, which if proven, state a colorable claim of an ethical violation. And then down further in that same paragraph where it begins, however, comma, to ensure the right to a fair hearing, and I would add the word preserve, and preserve the right of the accused against self-incrimination. And I didn't like the way that was worded, but I couldn't come up with anything better. Okay. The commission shall not schedule a hearing for a violation of any law while so put the little A in there, while a criminal investigation is in progress, etc. Once criminal proceedings are filed, the commission need not be bound by the conclusions of the, and I think we ought to say criminal court, and may hold, and I don't think it's a censure hearing. I think what we're holding is a hearing on the alleged ethical violations. And then in paragraph 5, you have the word complaint, which is plural. I think it should be singular. It's in the second line, Shauna. And that's really where I focused, was on the procedure that we follow. I didn't study the rest of it because I think the rest of it was basically the same as what we had before, wasn't it, Shauna?
Yeah, I think that's right. That's right.
So those are the suggestions that I would offer for your consideration.
So if everyone agrees with that, I would suggest a motion and a second, and we can make those changes and get them to the chair to sign.
So moved.
A second.
All right. Do we have any further business to come before the commission?
I have one thing. I do want to say thank you very much. When we asked you to be on this ethics commission, I think we pretty much said it was a commission that is important but isn't used very often. And the minute that you guys were, brought together, you were needed more than I've ever seen an ethics commission needed in a really long time. And I really, really appreciate your time and your attention and all the effort you put into it. And I did want to bring the bylaws back because you guys lived through something with bylaws we put together kind of quickly to make sure we had a process. So as you think through it, if there's anything else that you think we could do different or better as we move forward, I'm happy to hear it. I really do want to thank you for all of the effort you gave in the past year plus.
Well, speaking only for myself, it's been an honor to serve. We've gotten great support from the staff, and then we had independent counsel when we did have the proceedings that were conducted, and I thought the independent counsel did a great job. The proceedings were ultimately brought to a conclusion on a basis that was favorable to the city of Franklin, and that was important. So hopefully we won't have any further ethics complaints.
Let's hope.
Mr. Chair, could we get a vote on your bylaws? Could I get you to do a vote? We had a first and a second, but could we get a vote on that?
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you.
So I have a motion to approve the edit changes that were suggested by me and by Ms. Wilson. Do I have a second?
I'll second it.
Second. And all in favor say aye.
Aye.
And I've got my hand-edited version if you want it, but I don't know that it makes any difference. You may have been able to follow along.
Yeah, I was writing as you spoke, and before obviously you sign it, we'll make sure you look at it. We'll redline it first to make sure you like it, and then you can sign it.
If there's no further, anything else you want?
That's it. Thank you very much.
Does anyone else have any business? All right, if there's no further business, then I'd entertain a motion to adjourn.
I motion we
moved.
adjourn.
Second.
Very well. We are adjourned. You all have a good day.
Thank you.
Thank you.